How many of us have them? Friends, ones we can depend on. Friends, how many of us have them? Friends, before we go any further, let's be friends.
The word we use every day. Most of the time we use it in the wrong way. Now you can look the word up again and again, but the dictionary.
Well, our friendships began at different stages, right? Because I knew Mike from kindergarten, and then I met Derek in 2nd grade. Then I met Tone somewhere between 5th and 6th grade. But mind you, these suckers lived in Brownsville, so they had a friendship before that. And even afterwards, these guys followed me to high school as well.
Well, me and Pastor Antonio, we were going to a church that we got saved in. Well, we didn't get saved in, but we started going to church. And we left that church, and we were looking for a church. And what happened is we got invited. This won't be long. We got invited by a friend of mine named Keith Benton, who invited us to Christ Church International. And Pastor Steve was one of the associate pastors there. So we got invited there, and we were expecting to hear the bishop that day, right? Because the bishop was supposed to be off the hook. And lo and behold, when we got there, he was away. And the guest speaker was Pastor Steve. So unfortunately, me and Pastor Antonio were very disappointed because we wanted to hear the main attraction. We wanted to hear the bishop preach. So when Pastor Steve came out, we was like, oh, who this guy? We didn't come here for this. But about 10 minutes into the sermon, we looked at each other and we were like, bro, this guy is good. This guy's real good. So we met with him afterwards, and he seemed to be a pretty good dude, pretty cool dude. He was talking about basketball, and we were shocked at that because we weren't used to normal people in church. So we found out later on that he was starting his own church, and I went there first, checked it out, and then I asked Pastor Antonio to come. The rest is history with me and Pastor Antonio. Once Pastor Antonio came, then me and him developed a covert plan to get Deacon Derek from his church, right? Because he was known as the shout church, right? We ain't know nothing about that. So we planned to get Deacon Derek. Long story short, we got Deacon Derek because he's here. And then once I had, my crew, I had to get Deacon Keith from his church.
Basically, I believe that I think we've reached the point where we're just friends, and we're brothers. Where we reached the point of just being there for each other, no matter what. You can have friends, you can have peeps, you can have people that you hang out with, but nobody would do some of the things that you would normally do for a friend.
We grew up in the same borough. Me, Deacon Derek, and Minister Mike grew up in the same apartment complex. Deacon Keith, lived where the gang members were. But what happens is that we all moved out. I'm in Long Island now. Minister Mike is in Long Island. Deacon Derek is on Long Island, and we moved apart. We went to college, and we now have a central place to kind of keep us together. So if we didn't have the House of Judah, it would be less likely that we would actually see each other. So the House of Judah is our common place that keeps us together and keeps us focused and on the same page, because we're all kind of speaking the same thing from really junior high school. We went to the same college, me and Deacon Keith, and now we all go to the same church. So it still keeps us together.